Hello and welcome to AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. We have two stud ballers with us today. We have Rylan Bibiloni and we have Amirah Lenon. They both play for Hamilton High School, and we got some great news to share today. We'll start off with Amirah talking about your fall season and then what you're repping there today, and then we'll go to a break from our sponsor. Then we'll come back and Rylan will talk about your fall season, talk about your skills. We got a little video queued up, and then high school softball. I want to talk about high school softball with both of you guys because I know your team's stacked and prepared to make a deep run in the playoffs. And then we'll finish up talking about the summer schedule. That sound good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Amirah, you wrapped up a successful fall season. You joined the team in the fall. What made you choose Athletics Mercado 18U most team?
You know, athletics has always been such a strong organization, and you know, it was time for a change. It's a good change for sure, and I've heard a lot of good things about Mo. I mean, obviously playing for her is a great opportunity, and I've heard a lot of good things about Coach Jay, and it's been a great change for me.
Perfect. You kicked off, and we were in Dalton, Georgia, I think one of the second or third tournaments, and you hit a grand slam versus the Indiana Shockwave. So how was that? It's a grand slam. It's your first one?
No, it's not.
Oh,
but
wow. I mean, I know you've hit a lot of bombs, but to hit more than one grand slam was pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a slapper too, so I mean to hit those is like pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got to be cool. I mean, yeah, you get the people like you yourself with power that hits the bombs, but then when the grand slam happens, it's just exciting.
Yeah,
and then and you definitely garnered a lot of attention from college coaches during the fall season. What would you enjoy most about the fall season?
I really just enjoyed playing for a new team and playing under, you know, the athletics organization, just based on like the intensity of our practices, and you know, we play very competitive teams and we're out there in the best tournaments, and I really think it's beneficial for us for sure.
And how was it with the chemistry, right? Because you can have a ton of talent in the dugout, but what's it like? You get to make it work. You got to have good chemistry with the team. And how did you feel the chemistry worked out this year?
I mean, so far the chemistry's been great right off the bat. Like, we all get along really well, and it's really cool getting to know each other, not only as players but as people too. And you know, everyone's families are great, so it just makes for a good team chemistry.
Good. And then your recruitment journey. You know, we're here to celebrate the fact that you've committed to Howard University. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, how exciting is that?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. How do you feel, like, pressure-wise or stress-wise?
Definitely less stress, because the whole recruiting journey is kind of stressful, but now, you know, it's done, but still got to grind every day and work. So
yep. And I want to get into that because I know everyone's story is their own journey, and but you know, for some reason our listeners love to hear the recruitment journey, and not to really give advice to anybody, but just to share your story. Your overall take on the recruitment journey, and you know, and share your story on committing to Howard from beginning to when you committed.
So the recruiting journey is I mean, it's a long one, but it's definitely worth it in the end. I got noticed by Howard through an old organization, an organizational workout, and then coming on this new team, Coach Torrey got in contact with Coach Mo, and you know, showed interest through a conversation, and they actually came and watched when we were in California. She came on a Saturday or a Friday, I think, and then came Saturday. And then we set up a phone call shortly after that, and then came the visit and camp, and yeah.
So you had a camp, and that was in January?
Yeah, mid-January.
Mid-January it was a kind of a camp and a visit at the same time?
Yeah, it was.
And what did you think of the experience at Howard?
I thought it was great. I mean, the culture and everything about it I really enjoyed, and I like everything that the program is about, and Coach Torrey, I like the way she coached and ran the camp, because I mean, there's no standing around. It's fast paced, and I like that pace of play. So
yeah. And then I heard you got to go to a basketball game with the team, and how was the vibes? Is that the right word, the vibes?
Yeah.
How was the vibes with the team?
It was cool. I mean, they were very welcoming, and you know, I just felt like it felt right. Like it was cool.
And then at some point you go to the coach's office, right? And then it finally happens. Tell me, did you think it was going to happen? Did you have a sense it was going to happen? And when it did happen, you know, tell us about that experience when the coach finally says, hey, Mary, we really want you, and this is what we want. This is how much you mean to us?
So I had a feeling it would happen, but, you know, I mean, kind of got to, you don't want to expect it. So, and then I went into her office and we talked, and it was a good conversation, you know, and she basically let me know, like, hey, I can see you growing here not only as a player, but as a person too. And you know, I agree completely. And when she said it, it was like, whoa, like it's happening, you know, so.
That's good. And then you took some time to process it, and maybe because it's a big decision. And then I don't know if it was a week later or 10 days later. How did you break the news, the good news, to Coach Tyson?
So after, I mean, my mom was in the room with me, so we had to go home and, you know, talk to my dad about it. And then some days later, I gave her the call, and, you know, I just let her know that I'm very thankful for this opportunity. I would love to be a part of the program.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what I said. I said it's awesome. I get a little bit of slack for heat for saying awesome so many times, but I'm on a show where you guys are doing great things. After that, okay, back to the recruiting process. What did you think were some of the systems or processes that you did that you think got you the best results or the most results, or maybe because it's hard because you're kind of flying blind? What do you think really helped you? What tactics, what techniques do you use that you thought would work, that were working?
What is it called? Well, I just basically promoted myself through a lot of, what are they called?
I don't know, it could be social media, it could be sports recruits, it could be different outlets.
So I used a bunch of different outlets. Like on my old team, old organization, we used NCSA, so I started out on there, and then coming on athletics, we used sports recruits, so I was able to promote myself, and then social media like Twitter and all that, and YouTube, putting my videos out there. So
and that kind of got you some ground traction.
Yeah, and then through the outlets, I was able to be in contact with the coaches with emailing and stuff like that. So
that's good. And then what would you tell your younger self now that you've gone through the system, and let's say there was a young Amirah, freshman or sophomore in high school, about to get heavily into the recruiting? What would you tell her?
I guess I would say to just trust the process. Like, good things come when you work for it. So, and just not stress out so much, because what's meant to happen will happen.
That's a good one. And I also wanted to ask you, what do you love most about softball? I mean, sometimes is it on the field, certain situations, or off the field, or at practice, or something, maybe your favorite on the field and your favorite off the field?
You know, I come from being like a multi-sport athlete, and I just wrapped up playing 4 sports recently, because I feel like softball is where I thrive the most, and, you know, I'm very passionate about it. I love the competitiveness of the sport and the fast pace of the sport. It's just all together just super, super fun, and I just really enjoy it.
It's pretty addicting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's addicting as a fan, you know, watching. I can't imagine as a player how you just want to be in those situations, because it happens fast. One play you're doing something great defensively, then you're up to bat doing something great, then you're stealing bases. So yeah, I agree with you. It's so you're saying basically it's everything competitive about softball you love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's great. Well, we're excited to announce that we got a great sponsor, Pure Green Juice Bar in Tempe, Arizona. It's located off of Mill and 3rd Street, just behind Daily Jam. They are big supporters of ASU softball, so much so that they're offering 10% off any smoothie if you go get juiced up before the game. So pre-game at Pure Green Tempe, 10% off any smoothie in the house. And then when the Sun Devils win, for the next 24 hours, you get 15% off anything on the entire menu. So go Devils. And remember, whether that's a home game or an away game, anytime they win, you get 15% off the entire menu. They got great acai bowls. In the morning, they got great avocado toast, great different things. So hey, Pure Green Tempe. Now we're back. Thank you, Pure Green Tempe Juice Bar. Now we're going to speak with Rylan from Hamilton High School. Both these studs are from Hamilton High School. And what I want to show is, Rylan, we actually got, but before I show your video, I want to recap the fall ball season. Because, for one, I was super excited to have Amirah and you on the same team. It makes us one of the fastest club teams in the state. To come to think of it, Hamilton High School probably should have the fastest outfield
Right.
Yeah.
in the state, because you also have Amanda Benitez.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you three were playing at the same time, because she's pretty much a track star from what I hear.
Yeah.
She's super fast.
She definitely is.
And I've seen you two play, and you guys are pretty fast. As a matter of fact, we were at a West Coast Conference camp team out in California, and I know you wouldn't bring it up, so I'm bringing it up. Bibbs is your nickname. They had a speed competition, and you ended up being the
Yes.
third fastest girl at camp that day. So that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And then there was somebody else that did something. And then at one other point, some East Coast coach asked me about you, said, wow, she's really fast. So I thought at the moment, I was like, man, from coast to coast, they think you're really fast because you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's recap that fall ball season. Well, what was your take on fall ball this past season with Athletics Mercado, the 18U team? Because we moved up, and you're young. You're 2026 class.
Yes. I just had a great time competing and just growing with my best friends. I feel like we competed in all the games we played in, and we did get some good wins out of it.
Yep. And you guys were winning so much that your team ended up getting ranked 15th in the country. So that's going to set you up for a target on your back, but also it's going to be great competition throughout the whole summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to cue up your video, Rylan, where you really show off your speed right off the bat. Here you go. You tag one, I think, to opposite power, left field for a double, and I think when most people get the first, you're already sliding in the second. And then once again, you hit it into the gap. This one was in Colorado over the summer, and hit it into the deep gap, left center gap, and you get to second in a hurry. That's a stand-up double. And then I also have it where when you bunt it, I'm just telling you, when you bunt it, you get things going, you get on base, it might as well count as a run. And then you use that quickness for your speed too on defense. And that was a sweet out playing third base. So all in all, and then here's some stolen bases that catcher doesn't even have a chance. I don't even know why she threw it down there. she should just throw it down too. And there's one more that even your teammate there calls you safe. There you go. She calls you safe. Yep. So it's awesome to see you use your speed not only on when you're stealing bases, but defensively. That makes a big difference because you're and Amirah too. Amirah, you play middle infield and you play center field and the outfield, and Bibbs too. You play third base and the outfield as well. So you guys are really versatile athletes. So that's awesome. Okay, now let's talk high school softball. You guys are stacked. We already talked about how fast that outfield can be. Really, most people put a barrel on a ball, and sometimes it goes right to the center fielder or left fielder, and like, hey, good job, you hit it, you barreled it up, and they want you to hit it in the gap. But against you guys, they could hit it in the gap, and it could still be an out.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how it pans out for you guys, and see if you can take 1 or 2 points off the board just from your speed in the outfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about Hamilton and your teammates, because you guys are stacked.
We definitely are. We have a lot of great upperclassmen this season that I feel like I can look up to and learn a lot from. We have Kate Vance, who's committed to the University of Arizona. We also have Jasmine Ramirez pitching in the circle, who's committed to Utah State.
Yeah, and then we have our stud catcher, Quinn Salazar-Stewart, and she's going to Harvard.
All right. So she's kind of smart too.
Yeah, a little bit.
She's
Yeah.
so smart.
All right, good. And then what are you looking most forward to in the high school season coming up? Is there a certain game you guys have circled on the schedule, or what? What about the season that you're looking
I
forward
think
to?
we're looking for redemption against O'Connor after that
Definitely.
last game last year. But, Bash is always our good competitors, and,
Your region is pretty tough.
yeah.
Give me the teams that's in your region.
We've got Basha, we've got Xavier, Chandler, Perry.
Yeah, I think
That's it in the
Yeah.
Premier Region, yeah.
Right.
In the 6A.
6A
Yes.
Premier,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's big
Yeah.
time. That's big time softball. So I definitely want to wish you guys a ton of luck.
Thank you.
You know, and then let's talk about your summer schedule.
Okay.
All right, summer schedule. So right off the bat, you guys finish up hopefully mid-May. When's the state championship? Right? It's like mid-May or something
Mid-May,
like
yeah,
that.
for sure.
So hopefully that's when you wrap up, and then you have a couple weeks of practice with Coach Mo, and then you're off to Zoom into June. Yep. You guys been to Zoom into June before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you like it, and then also your team got invited to the top 25 Scenic City tournament in Dalton, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's got to be exciting to be picked as one of the top 25
For
teams in
sure,
the
yeah.
country.
Definitely.
We'll definitely be seeing some good competition
Right.
all summer. So
Yep. And that's good exposure, being that you're on the clock, Bibbs, right? Being
Yes.
exposed to that many good coaches.
Definitely.
Yep. And I definitely think that it's important to be at those tournaments, but I mean, you definitely don't need to be at those tournaments, but and you can still be found, but it's a lot easier to be found if you're at those big tournaments.
For sure.
Yeah. And then after that, there's a tournament, the Triple Crown International Challenge, that I understand you're playing for. You're
Yes.
representing a certain team there.
Yes, I will be representing Team Spain, and I'm just really looking forward to meeting new people and just representing my culture.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Team Spain, and the Triple Crown International Challenge starts 4 or 5 days before the Colorado Sparklers tournament starts. So actually gives you a great way to get warmed up, get a
Right.
bunch of live at bats before you join the team
Yeah.
that Monday or something. And then you got the Sparklers tournament. Then you come back and you have a small break, and then you're off to. Coach Jay just said you guys got invited to TC Nationals in Chino Hills.
yeah,
So that's good. It's always good to be in Southern California in July
Right.
instead of Arizona.
instead of Arizona,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
120
Definitely.
degrees.
Yep. Yep. And then you finally wrap up the season in Kokomo, Indiana,
Right.
which is, people say, oh, the Midwest is so hot and humid, but it's not like here.
No.
So it's still going to be nice to go out to Indiana
Yeah.
for the Alliance, and that's where you guys. I really liked the Alliance last year because it's set up like the Women's College World Series. Did you find that to be the case? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like it was a lot of fun. It felt like we were in college almost. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, you did play softball.
Yeah, it was a lot of
You
fun.
didn't have school. That's the good thing about summer
It's
ball.
true.
Yeah. So okay, great. Anything you guys are specifically about the summer that you're looking forward to, one specific tournament more than the other?
I mean, for me, I'm looking forward to Alliance because for the past few years, I've been in PGF, so I've never played Alliance, so that'll be a good experience.
Okay.
Same for me. I'm really looking forward to Alliance Nationals. I feel like we have the team to go far this year. We have great chemistry and just great people, and I think that we're going to go far.
Yeah. And you guys are young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're mostly comprised of 2026 and 2025.
Right.
Okay. Well, great. You guys have been awesome to have on the show.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes,
If
thank
you
you.
liked what you saw, we think you've earned your subscription, then please subscribe. Please like us. Arizona Softball Podcast, AZ in the Circle. Thanks.